Hello and welcome to Jeopardy at Home. I'm your host, Alec Michelle. Thank you for joining us for another week. We have an exciting show for you with Javi, the current champion, coming back to defend his throne against two competitors who will do anything to push him off the mountaintop. Now, before we begin, I want to just quickly address the rumors that have been circulating on some of the message boards. You may have heard, or you may not have, that I'll be hosting some sort of Wheel of Fortune type show in the coming weeks. I'll stand for a lot of abuse. You can attack my character. You can say I'm a weird, pale idiot. You can say that MC Escher designed my nipples. But I will not stand for the type of abuse that would connect me to any Wheel of Fortune properties. It's a despicable show hosted by an inferior host, and I will have nothing to do with it. I'm sorry for getting upset at the top of the show, but Pat Sajak is a loser and an idiot. Let's get to the meat of the program. There's no reason to waste time or energy on that. Let's say hello to the contestants who will be joining us this week on Jeopardy at Home. First, we have David joining us all the way from the East Coast. David, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. Nothing new over here. Just staying safe.
Second, we have a mustachioed man, none other than Henry, who joins us from Los Angeles, California. Henry, how are you?
I'm good, Alec. I'm doing well.
And you know who's coming up next. You know the third man. You know that Javi is about to pop his little peeper in here. Javi, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. It's feeling like a routine to be here every Tuesday and Friday.
It is absolutely becoming regular. You know that we like to get to know our contestants before we begin the game. Now, David, you are both a software engineer and you have a girlfriend. How do you reconcile those two things?
It's a give and take. We can't keep both of them happy. So you pick and choose your battles.
Absolutely. Balance will become important in this game. I can tell you that much. Now, Henry, I happen to know that you're a childhood best friend of none other than Javi, the current champion of Jeopardy at Home. In what ways can you leverage your personal relationship to destroy him in this game?
Yeah, I think just knowing him that well, I'm going to be able to exploit some of his weaknesses. He definitely has some big weaknesses that I'm looking to take advantage of today.
We like to hear that. And Javi, it's no exaggeration to say that you've become an idol to dozens, hundreds, probably millions, and maybe even billions of people around the globe with your play here on the show. But tell me, who do you look up to?
It's been a real change going on the street, having people stop me on the street and say, "You're that guy from Jeopardy at Home, aren't you?" And yeah, I'm signing autographs, taking pictures, and it's a big change. But you always gotta look up to the greats. Jeopardy James is my go-to. Try to model my play style off of him. And just to respond to what Henry was saying, I do know him. I've hung out with him a couple times, but he's a nice guy. But he's kind of an airhead, so I'm not really worried about him as a challenge.
Strong words from a strong man. Let's see if he can back it up on today's game. Let's go ahead and take a look at the categories. For today's game, we'll be looking at the rulers, notice the in quotation marks. Then we'll go to down under, books of the Bible, heteronyms. Those are words that are spelled the same but have different pronunciations. I'll be asking you for both of those words pronounced differently. And then we'll go to first ladies. Remember to phrase your response in the form of a question. Folks, let's get started. Henry, you have the mustache that I'm least jealous of, which means you go first.
All right. Let's do the rulers for 600.
Okay. He may not have been the kindest guy in the world, but he was the first Tsar of Russia. That's Javi buzzing in first.
Who is Peter the First?
That is incorrect. We have no one else buzzing in as of yet. And we go answerless on the first question. Javi in the negative. We're looking for Ivan the Terrible. Henry, we go back to you.
Let's do down under for 400.
Okay. The deepest part of Earth's ocean can be found here. Henry buzzes in.
What is the Mariana Trench?
That is correct. I wish it was called the Marinara Trench. Fortunately, it's not. Henry, back to you.
We'll do down under for 600.
Okay. This Canadian director once reached a depth of below 35,000 feet during a solo submersible dive. And that's Javi coming in first.
Who's James Cameron?
That is correct. Javi, board goes to you.
The Ruler's 1,000.
Okay, swinging big. This unstable king may have plunged England into a war, but at least Shakespeare gave him a 3-part play. No one buzzing in yet. Looking thoughtful. David's kept his hand and his finger off the buzzer as of yet, and everyone decides to play it safe for the first 1,000 for Henry VI. But who cares about Shakespeare? We're going to go back to Javi now.
The Ruler's 800.
After overthrowing her husband, she became Russia's longest ruling female. That's Javi.
Who's Catherine the Great?
That is correct. Javi, back in the positive.
Ruler's 400.
This king of Macedonia spent his youth learning from Aristotle. And that is Javi first again.
Who's Alexander the Great?
That is correct. Take us to a new category.
Let's do heteronyms for 600.
Okay, keep in mind that we'll need both of the words here. To rip apart and fluid from the eye. Henry comes in first.
It's tear and tear.
Yes, remember to phrase it in the form of a question, but that's exactly what we're looking for.
Let's do heteronyms for 400.
A post on social media and to be satisfied. Some thoughtful looks, some proverbial strokes of the chin, but no one is buzzing in on this 400. Post on social media, that is content, and to be satisfied, that is content. We go back to Henry.
We'll do heteronyms again for 800.
A burning fragrance and to make angry. Staying quiet so far, a bit of a stumper on this category. David has not yet buzzed in, and no one buzzes in for incense and incense. Back to you, Henry.
Heteronyms 1,000.
Okay, to finish the category, let's see if we can bounce back. An amateur artist and a place to keep underwear. Javi comes in first. David, close second.
What are drawer and drawer?
Yes, that is correct. A big pickup for Javi, and the board goes back to you.
Let's do first ladies for 400.
Let's do it. She championed drug prevention to questionable results with the motto, just say no. And that's Javi quickly.
Who's Nancy Reagan?
That is correct. Where do you take us?
First ladies 600.
She successfully ran for Congress while serving as First Lady. That's Javi first again.
Who is Hillary Clinton?
That is correct. Assumed office in the year 2000.
First ladies 800.
As wives to George H.W. and Jess W. Bush, these two women both served as First Lady of the United States. Double answer here. Pensive looks. David licking his chops. He wants to get in on this one. But no one does buzz in time. We're looking for Barbara Bush and Laura Bush, the two Bush ladies.
Let's finish the category.
Let's see what we got. She was candid about her struggles with alcohol while in office and later founded a center for addiction under her name. Javi looks frustrated by that. David calm in the face of anguish. Henry looking to get back in, but no one buzzes in. We are looking for Betty Ford Center for Addiction. Before we continue, let's take a quick look. A low-scoring game so far. David with zero guesses ventured and 0 gained. Henry with 1,000. Javi in the lead with 3,200 right now, but it's anybody's game. Javi, where do you take us?
Bible 400.
Let's see what we got. The first book of the Bible reads, "In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth." That's Javi first.
What is Genesis?
That is correct. Genesis, the first book of the Bible.
Bible 600.
This book describes the Israelites' escape from slavery in Egypt. That is Javi first again.
What is Exodus?
That is correct. 2 for 2 so far.
Bible 800.
This is the final book of the New Testament. Ramping up the difficulty. A tentative crowd in this game so far. Javi raises his hand, which is not how you buzz in, but he also buzzes in. Javi, what do you got?
What is the Book of Revelations?
That is correct. 3 for 3 in the category. Let's see if you can run it out.
Let's try it.
This 5th book of the Bible is the final of the Torah. Javi choosing not to venture a guess. He'll stay satisfied. David Ho buzzes in. What do you got?
What is Deuteronomy?
That is correct. A huge answer. His first guess ventured, and he's absolutely correct. 1,000 points for David. And David, you take us where we go next.
Let's go down under for 800.
Okay. This creature isn't mythical. It was first photographed in 2004 and seen again in the U.S., near the U.S. in 2019. Henry stayed quiet for some time now, plotting his attack. Maybe he'll come out big in Final Jeopardy, and no one decides to venture a guess here. The giant squid is a species of animal rarely captured, the deep sea creature. And our final clue, let's go ahead and take a look at Down Under for 1,000. This ugly fish gets its name from the piece of spine that hangs above its mouth like a fishing pole. Henry buzzes in, a big opportunity.
What is the anglerfish?
That is correct. All right, that finishes the board. Let's take a look at where we're at. Javi, he's got 5,000 points, but David finishes with perhaps the best percentage in Jeopardy at Home history, batting 1,000 from his one guess, and Henry finishes with 2,000. Let's keep in mind we're about to go to Final Jeopardy, where everyone will have a chance to wager whatever they choose from their current total. Let's go ahead and take a look at that category. David, remember you have 1,000 points to play with. Henry, 2,000, and Javi, 5,000. Go ahead and write down on your phone, on a piece of paper, perhaps tattoo it on your face. Whatever the wager you would like to put, go ahead and write that down. Don't show it to me yet. We'll take a look at the clue itself. You'll have 30 seconds to write down your answer to that, and then we'll go around the table and see what the final scores look like. All right, I think that everybody has their wagers written down. I'll remind our loyal fans that we have guest host clues this week on our Instagram at Jeopardy at Home. Go check that out. Let's see what we got. A Greek king won the Battle of Heraclea against the Romans in 279 BC, but suffered such losses in doing so that this expression now bears his name. 30 seconds on the clock. And that is time. 30 seconds. Let's go ahead and start with David. You had 1,000 points to play with. David, what was your wager?
Put 1,000.
Okay, I love it. And David, what was your response?
Brennus?
Say that again.
Brennus?
Brennus. That is unfortunately not correct. You will go down to 0. We turn now to Henry. You had 2,000 to play with. Go ahead, show us your wager.
I did 2,000, and I wrote
wagered it all, and it looks like your response was Pyrrhic victory. So you wagered 2,000, and you end with 4,000 points. That is correct. A Pyrrhic victory, a victory that results in significant losses for the winning side, comes from the general Pyrrhus. I'm sure I'm not pronouncing that correctly. Javi, you had 5,000 points to play with. You couldn't be touched this game yet again. What did you wager there?
900.
900, and Pyrrhic victory is correct. You end with 5,900. An impressive total. I'm going to vamp and try and talk while I do this math. You keep winning, which makes it increasingly complicated for me to do the math in my head, but I think I got it right. And you now have a 5-game streak with 18,300 points. I believe that's incorrect. I believe it is a 5-game streak. No, I'm wrong. It is a 4-game streak, and you have 18,300 points.
It will be 5.
I want to congratulate all the contestants. David and Henry, thank you for playing. Congratulations again to Javi.
Thanks for having us.
I want to talk about this game. We've seen some different strategies when people try and take down the king. Javi, in the previous game, people took a lot of guesses. We saw people end with negative scores because they were trying to throw out some answers that they weren't so confident in. David, tell me what influenced your strategy of only answering one question.
I went for slow and steady. I was also slow on the buzzer. A couple of the lower point ones, I was beating to the buzzer. So I was going to go for the big ones that I knew and the short ones that I also knew. Not taking any risks. Going to risk
It's
it all.
not a bad strategy. You hit that 1,000. That was huge. We do have to think technology plays a factor here. The buzzer's new tech, and Javi is getting adjusted to it. Henry, you started really strong, then cooled down a little bit. What happened there?
Yeah, I mean, Javi just got that ruler section and he just cleaned it up, and he got that big lead. I was bummed. I was going to go for Deuteronomy. David beat me to the buzzer on that one. But so it was a little bit too too late.
Tough one, Javi. The streak continues. 2 records now. Every single time you win, you just push those records further along the line. We started this game from a place of aggression. Now, how do we feel right now?
I feel better than ever. I feel like I can't be beaten, and I'm willing to take this as far as it can possibly go.
Goodness gracious, throwing down the challenge. That is a confident man. Reminder that we are on Instagram, and of course, you're viewing this on YouTube. If you think that you can beat this man, or perhaps he's part beast who simply can't be taken down, go ahead and reach out on social media. See if you can dethrone the king. Another big thank you to everybody who participated today. Congratulations to all the contestants, and of course to Javi. We will see everybody on Friday, not Tuesday. That's wrong. See you on Friday.
Thanks, Alec.
Thanks.